KJ's coming on to give us his thoughts. 2 done deals over the line. Talk to me, brother.
I'm happy with this, man. I'm happy with this. I was taking the approach of not being negative in terms of Ineos are crap and they're not going to sign anyone else. Like nothing's happening. I was more of, you know what, yeah? The rebuild of this club is hard. It's not easy because the Glazers put some in some mad position that we have to be in this position in the first place, right? So if we end up not selling or buying anyone for the rest of the summer because it's that difficult, I'd be like, you know what, it is what it is. Those are the cards we dealt with. We move forward. But the fact that we've gotten a compromise with Wan-Bissaka to get him out of the club, to let him go to move to West Ham, and we've moved swiftly on Matthias de Ligt and Mazroui. It's just good things. And this is why I'm trying to tell people, let Ineos have time. We've got loads of Man United fans complaining, moaning, getting on Ineos's back after a month, like not even a month, of everyone who we need to be there being in charge. Barada started in mid-July. Ashworth started at the start of July. Walcott started towards the end of last season. We have not had those, and then Ravel just come in as well. So we've not had all 4 of those guys for a month yet. We've got 5 days out before you can say a month we've had them there. So you expect Man United to be fixed. All of our transfer issues, all of our financial problems, all fixed within 3.5 weeks. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's actually ridiculous when you sound it out logically. So I'm happy that we have gone about the business that we have. Mazroui, very talented player. Obviously, we know he's technically good on the ball. Question marks over his defending. Question marks over his injury record. But hopefully, this gives Ten Hag an option to rotate with Delors. Gives an option to rotate with Shaw and Malacia when he comes back. You know what I'm saying? De Ligt. You know what? There's been big question marks over him. But the fact we've got him for what? How much we get him for? 40-something million pounds? Potentially?
38 million pounds.
38 million pounds
is the base. It could go up by another. It could go up to like 41 million pounds with add-ons.
Yeah. 38 million pounds as a base fee. A player that is clearly talented, because you don't sign for Juve and Bayern back to back if you're not talented. And the best De Ligt we've seen is under the manager we come and have with Ten Hag. So these are good signings. And Ineos has played it how we needed to. We need to make sure that we get things in a row. So talk to the players, get that sorted. Keep communicating with Bayern until you're ready to strike. And then focus on getting the players out we need to get on. So get out. So good signing. Hopefully this shows up our defense now, especially with Yara out for up to like at least 3 months. Hopefully a bit quick. Hopefully that's all that it is. And we can look forward as a football club to a game as well. Like we've obviously a Community Shield in like half an hour. The news broke out in just before the game. So even if we don't win the Community Shield, which I think many fans of both teams don't really care, we've got good news to keep us going for the rest of the week.
Yeah, that's probably the only element of this news that's annoying is it's come just before games bloody kicks off. But aside from that, it's I'm happy with it, as I say. And look, me and you have both been very, very, very forthright in our views on United and the fact that it's going to take time to fix this. It's going to take time to make this better. It's going to take 2 to 3 years minimum for us to even think about catching the big boys across the UK and Europe, because there's so much to undo and fix. But I think so far, you look at the 4 players that we've purchased, so sad that Yoro's out, but those freak injuries and breaks happen every now and then. But we've brought in 4 players who are all technically proficient on the ball. And that's the one element that tells, and we've seen in pre-season some attempts to change the way we play football. So I hope those attempts continue. I hope we see some of that today against Manchester City. We integrate these 2 players who have been in full pre-season training. So that Mazroui's been playing games. So hopefully they'll be available for the start of the Premier League next Friday. And then we can put all our eggs this week into the basket of Ugarte, get that done. That's 5 signings over the line. And then fingers crossed, once that's done, maybe, just maybe, it gives us 2 weeks left of the window where if we can get rid of a player or 2, maybe there is a sprinkling of stardust that comes in, because there are talks of the likes of Frankie de Jong. There have been talks, I mean, Zubimendi's going to go to Liverpool now, of the Fofanas. So these two are done now. Let's go and get Ugarte over the line. That real defensive spine for us to sit next to Kobe, and then who knows for the remainder of the window. And then it would be, for me, on paper, and it's always on paper until you see him kick a ball, a very, very good first summer for this rebuild. Canadian Cam joins us as well on the show. Yes, brother, talk to me.
Bro.
I've had my hiatus. Yeah, it's summer, baby, house flooding, a whole bunch of shit. Yeah, dude, my whole, I haven't been in my house for 3 weeks. But that's the whole, we can talk about that after. I've been waiting to do Ineos prop all summer. I have been from day one, I told everybody they're going to come in and change everything. Sir Jim, the first move he did, and I want to take it back a little bit. A lot of people don't remember this. There's a little interview he did. It was him with, I can't remember who, but he was sitting on a chair across from somebody on a big stage. He was asked about the Glazers. He said, the Glazers are nice people. Every United fan went crazy. What is he doing? Sucking up to the Glazers, this and that. Well, you tried to buy Chelsea. He's like, well, United's not for sale. He is being polite. He was being gracious. He was doing what he should have done with billionaires, just being like, I'm just going to be chill. I'm going to be cool. I'm not going to do what everybody with Qatar was talking about when they're coming at him with PR saying we're the worst and they're going to change everything for the good. This man sat, played his cards right, and then swooped in. He you get more bees with honey, right? Isn't that the isn't that the saying or whatever it is or something? Well, either way, the man played his cards perfectly, then came in and did everything so far that he said he's going to do. Everything. When I'm not going to go too much over you guys saying it's going to take years to fix it, because we all agree on that. That's anybody's dumb. But look at things like people talking about the stadium, blah, blah. He's already looked into building a stadium similar to SoFi. SoFi took about 5 years to get built. And the fact that he's already explored it and put it out there that's the stadium he's looking to try and build, one of the greatest stadiums in the world, just in a place that nobody likes sports. That's amazing. For me, that's like that's the biggest thing for me has always been that. But now let's talk about the transfers. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we know it's not 15 million because we're gonna have to pay some of that off. But net spend, people out there, well, we just sold Aaron Wan-Bissaka for 15 million pounds. So great. Yeah. But we know it's not that, but still great deal. He sat, played his cards right, got in 2 players that we desperately needed. I'm so excited to get to Ligt and Mazroui. And Mazroui is one of those players that I bought in FIFA about 4 years ago and played for my United team. So, it's nice to see him on the team. I think he's going to play pretty much left back. I don't think he's going to touch the right side because I just don't think our left back's going to play. Unfortunately, it does suck. I think for the midfield, I'm starting to think we might get to. I know it's one, but I'm starting to think we might get to. And the reason being is if we stayed quiet on the Aaron Wan-Bissaka thing, it was told to be dead, right? We got the reports he wasn't going to come, and then all of a sudden it worked out. Scott McTominay goes. I don't think we just bring in one. I think we have to bring in 2. So I think the Sanderberg and Ugarte could happen. Personally, I would prefer us not buy Sanderberg and just buy Ugarte and be weak in the midfield and figure it out next year. That's where I'm at. But yeah, man, I'm super pumped, and I just wanted to come in and say also, Terry, you're a great friend because you've been defending KJ when you shouldn't sometimes. Yeah, KJ. So he's been saying, you've been calm and you haven't been getting stressed at all, and he's not in the United gang group. No, don't do it because we got you were losing faith a bit. It was calm.
No. Nowhere does Cam, you're selling a distrust to say. Now you can say I've said. Oh, I maybe worried, but I never was losing faith because I always said, you know what, but this will take time, and these guys, I'll give them the time that they need.
KJ,
I never said,
you were resigned. You were resigned to us not. You're like, guys, we're not. I don't think we're gonna sign any new players.
No. I actually, again, I don't even pull up the text. I said there is a world where we could not sign anyone, and I said I'm okay with it. How is that saying I'm losing faith?
KJ, you've done me. You broke my heart. You have broke my heart, KJ.
Even say
I told you the same
KJ,
thing.
when someone says, "Listen, there's a world where bruh, you were losing."
Yeah, but again, but
this happens every year too. You get to the point where you're like, I'm not feeling, and then bam, something happens and turns your life around, and you were losing faith a bit.
No. To me, losing faith is Ineos are rubbish and these guys are not going to do anything. I've never said anything like that.
Those are for like people who are like over the top and everything. You're not that over the top, dude. Your style of losing faith is that seed of doubt. But you went from being like, I think it's gonna work out, we're gonna be good, to it might not this summer, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, I was saying it's not because of Ineos. I'm saying because of the position the Glazers put us in.
Oh, I'm not saying let's be clear. I'm not saying you were losing faith in Ineos. You were losing faith that things might actually turn out well for us in the summer transfer window. You were, which is a bit kind of losing faith in Ineos getting things done.
But where I was still, I'm not in that group chat to be fair, but where I would defend KJ, because we've spoken about that, he has put that across to me as well, that I don't know if this summer's going to be good. But he's echoed his reasoning is because it's so hard to fix these problems that the Glazers created. So when I defended him yesterday, it was more people saying like KJ's turning on Ineos already. And I think that's what's, I've not been very happy.
It's more...
No, I agree. And I've not been very happy with a lot of United fans online who I have felt have already started to turn on them a little bit for absolutely no reason. I found we get enough crap and lies from the media and rivals. We just don't. It's like I only saw it because KJ sent it to me, to be fair. I was out with the kids earlier on today. I didn't even see the here we go. But the amount of Man United fans attacking Rasmus for sorting out the acne on his face. It's like, why are we doing shit to our own players? Leave man alone. It doesn't make sense to be attacking your own all the time. I told you the other day, KJ, on the shows, I mean it. I think some people do it so they get backlash because it gives them a sexual release. I think it's a sexual release for a lot of men now, is they put out the negativity because they know they're going to get shit back for it. And I think they sit there with their special sock in the basement, loving it. They must do. It has to be a sexual release thing now because it makes no sense. But there we go. Look, I'm going to get ready for the build-up.